We're going to dive a bit deeper now and bring in Onur Erim, who's a political analyst, and he joins us now in studio. Onur Bey, it's been a while. Good to see you again. No stranger to TRT World, and we've had discussions about July 15th over the years together. Sometimes it's very hard to imagine that it's been 8 years. I want you to help us go back a little bit and explain some of the context of that period of time in 2016, especially with regards to the perpetrators. Why did they try it, and why did they try it at that particular time?
Well, thank you for the warm welcome to begin with. It's nice to be back. If we go back, maybe not 8, but maybe 10, 12 years, as you know, the obvious perpetrators of this events on the July the 15th, the attempted coup by a fractional number of people within the Turkish armed forces, all of whom we now know to be a part of the fateful terrorist organization headed by terrorist Fethullah Gülen. They had been really were being integrated, going after with them the government in many spaces, in many areas, to see what is going on with this group. Now, if you go back 15, 20 years, this group supposedly started as a very nice group, that they were all about humanity, all about understanding, all about education. However, we have started realizing at one point that there was much bigger agenda of this organization, of this terrorist organization, from years, and this was all being orchestrated by forces and by powers outside of Turkey. I want to say mostly, but entirely by the Western countries. Now, as they started feeling pressure, as they have understood that the government has realized what this organization was really about, they started feeling pressured on many points. As you may remember, a couple of years back, certain aspects of this organization, wrongdoings, were actually made, brought in front of the court, and the necessary actions have been taken. Now, going back to your question as to the twofold question, why did they do it? Well, I think they realized that the government was going to do what needs to be done, number one. Why at that particular time, at that given time? I think they panicked. I think that they panicked as to, hey, wait a minute, this looks like the end of the rope with us. We either try this crazy idea, trying to overthrow the government, try to attack all the officials of the government, whether on the militarized side, on the police side, or the government itself, or this is going to be our end. So I think they made this very immature move, in a state of panic. And what they didn't realize, don't forget, this could have still been a semi-success on their part.
If the people didn't take to the streets.
Nobody counted on that. I'm pretty sure, I could feel it, that President Erdogan's belief was there. But don't forget, this had never been tested anywhere in the world. There is armed people. Now, at that point, nobody knows whether these are a fractional part of the army trying a terrorist dressed as army personnel, or a coup by a large number of groups in the army. Nobody knew. But despite that fact, upon one call by the president, everybody took to the streets. No guns, no knives, nothing. They just went out there, and they went out there with the acceptance of that they could be martyrs that night, which, again, let's just, God rest their souls, all 253 martyrs of that night. And again, our condolences to their families. But I was on the street that night. I was out. Everybody that was on the street was ready to die, because they knew that they were defending their country, not the government, not this, not that. They were defending their country against a foreign source, a foreign power, dressed as a Turkish armed person.
You say foreign power. Tell me more about that.
I mean, I think everybody has a consensus that the fateful terrorist organization has been founded has been, grown and has been funded, if not entirely, but mostly by the United States or those powers within the United States. How much of these powers are actually part of the United States government or the United States deep state is something to be that's something to be explored. Unfortunately, as we have seen in the last, especially the last 8 years after the coup attempt, our quote-unquote ally, the United States, is not helping us at all to get to the bottom of this at all. Now, after years and after thousands of tens of pages of court filings against Fethullah Gülen and those terrorists that belong to his group, he hasn't even been questioned once. So we know that the American government is not, as of today, has not been helping us at all get to the bottom of this. Maybe it's because they really don't want to find out, or they really don't want us to find out what they already know.
That's 3 administrations: Obama,
Yeah.
Trump, Biden. You talk of thousands of documents pushing for the extradition of the leader. What do you think is the main reason this has not happened?
Logically, I could only think of one.
Tell
They
me.
are afraid of something. Whether they're a part of it, because they're a part of it, whether they are the only reason why this group has even, had existence, I don't know. But if you're not afraid of what is to come out, then why wouldn't you even just question? It's very simple. Just don't even extradite them. Why don't you just question them once, or any other part of his group? So yes, 3. You're right, 3 administrations. But let's not forget, if this is indeed an American organization, a U.S. backed organization, we all know how the government of United States, let's call it deep state, is powerful than any, or at least almost all of the presidents in the U.S. history. So maybe if Trump gets reelected, as outspoken as he is, as out of box as he is, and this time he will not have to worry about a second term. This will be his last term. Maybe he'll do something out of the ordinary. Maybe he'll surprise us. We could only hope. But this actually, getting to the bottom of this, will not just be good for the state of Turkey. It will also be good for the American government, because there's a wrongdoing. It affects everybody. It's going to come back and bite them as well, which unfortunately we saw another version of this with Trump's attempted assassination yesterday. So I think this will be good for everybody. I can only hope that Trump, if he's to get elected for his second and last term, not having to worry about his next term, maybe do the right thing this time.
Onur Erim, it's been good to see you again. Always fascinating to hear your thoughts. Thank you very much for joining us.